वदनो ब्रह्म द्विबाहुरपरो हरिः अबाललोचनः शम्भुर्भगवान् बादरायणः नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत् इतिहासप्रदीपेन मोहावरणघातिना लोकगर्भगृहं कृत्स्नं यथावत् सम्प्रकाशितम् निःश्रेण्यो ब्रह्मलोकस्य वाग्देव्याः कर्णकुण्डले धर्मद्रुममहामूले वाल्मीकिव्यासयोः कृति.
Okay, thanks a lot, Hamsa. Let's begin. Yesterday, by the way, we have finished what is called the Adi Parva. Okay, with yesterday's class, we have finished the Adi Parva, which is one of the biggest parvas of Mahabharata. 18 parvas. I had asked you all to memorize the names. Let me see today at the end of the class how many of you have memorized it. That's a challenge for all of you, the older people and the younger people. I'm sure that the older people are ignoring my instructions, thinking that it doesn't apply to them. It would be important for the older people also to keep these things in mind so that you can pass it on to the next generation. Okay, the younger ones are doing really well. I hope today at the end of the class, one of you will be able to tell all the 18 parvas without looking at any of the books. Okay, so yesterday we had seen how Bhima kills Bakasura. All of you remember that? The nature of an irresponsible king. Because of an irresponsible king, every day a person from a family was losing his life, right? Very, very badly reflects on the king. We had also seen how Kunti, although the Pandavas were in trouble, although Kunti and the Pandavas had been wronged by the Kauravas, although they were subject to trouble, she was willing to solve the problem that another family was facing. So, a very important characteristic of a person who this is the stature of a queen. So, concern for the society, concern for everybody in the kingdom. See, this is what we see in Kunti's character, a very, very important thing. Then we saw how all the five Pandavas get married to Draupadi. And we also saw how Krishna, for the first time, comes in the Mahabharata. He bows down to his aunt Kunti. He bows down to his older brother Yudhishthira. He bows down to his older brother Bhima. Right? So the respect that Krishna gives to his aunt, to his cousins, etc., we had seen that. And he promises all of them that he'll be ready to help them whenever they are in need. Okay, now with all this, with the support of Krishna, with the support of Drupada, Drupada was the king of which kingdom? Just raise your hands and tell quickly. Drupada was the king of which kingdom? Yes, Arush. Yeah, Aira and Ishan. What is the other name of Drupada? The other name of Drupada, Adarsh, you want to tell?
Yajnasena.
Yeah, excellent. What kingdom was he a king of?
Panchala.
Panchala, okay. Who was the elder brother of Draupadi?
Drishtadyumna.
Okay, fantastic. How were they born, Draupadi and Drishtadyumna? How were they born?
Yagna.
Yeah, through a yajna, through fire. They were all born. Okay, both of them. Okay, put your hands down. Questions over. Okay, now the Pandavas, along with Draupadi, they come back to Hastinapura. Okay, with the support of Krishna, Balarama, and Drupada, they come back to Hastinapura. Who was taking care of the throne of Hastinapura? This is a very difficult question. Pay attention before raising your hands. Recall the story from the first class, whatever we have discussed. Who was taking care of the throne of Hastinapura? All of you got the question? Okay, now let me see. Let me see who will answer. Yes. I got a few messages, right? Exactly. Fantastic. Yeah, Bhishma was taking care of the throne of Hastinapura, right? But who wanted to claim the throne of Hastinapura? Yeah, now this is another question. Who wanted to claim the throne and who had thrown the Pandavas away?
Sir,
Duryodhana. Duryodhana and
Exactly,
Dhritarashtra.
Duryodhana, Dhritarashtra. Okay, all of you have followed it very well. Fantastic. Excellent. Okay, let's go ahead now. So naturally, when the Pandavas come back with Draupadi, Dhritarashtra gets really scared. Now my son Duryodhana will again start getting jealous of the Pandavas. And if the Pandavas are in the same place as Hastinapura, there'll be constant fight and constant conflict between them. So he comes up with the plan of sending away Pandavas. He sends Pandavas to a place called Prastha. Prastha was a place which was given away to Pandavas by Dhritarashtra. He told them not to stay in the capital city. So Prastha, Pandavas go there. Okay, there they established an extraordinary kingdom. They established an extraordinary capital city, and that was called Indraprastha. They renamed Prastha as Indraprastha. Can somebody tell me what is the capital city of Indra as per the Puranas? The name of the capital city of Indra, yes, Dhatri.
Amaravati.
Excellent, fantastic. Amaravati is the capital city of Andhra Pradesh now, which is coming up, another city, right? So it was as divine, as great, as rich, as prosperous as Amaravati, which was the capital city of Indra. So therefore, the capital city of Pandavas was also called Indraprastha. Okay, Pandavas started to rule from there. In the meantime, the sage Narada came there and said that, see, the five of you, five husbands, all of you are married to one lady, that is Draupadi. All the five of you should not become possessive about Draupadi. We'll do it like this. So they came to an understanding. So Narada suggested that each year, one of you will be her husband. The rest four of you will act like brother-in-laws to Draupadi. You'll be like Bhava Maidunas. You'll be like brother-in-laws to Draupadi. And when Draupadi is with one of her husbands, the other brothers are not supposed to enter that particular house or that particular palace in which Draupadi is staying with one of her husbands. So this was the agreement to which all the Pandavas came together. So when Draupadi is with Yudhishthira, Bhima, Arjuna, Nakula, and Sahadeva will not go there for 1 year. When Draupadi is with Bhima, Yudhishthira, Arjuna, Nakula, Sahadeva will not go there. When Draupadi is with Arjuna, Yudhishthira, Bhima, Nakula, Sahadeva won't go there. So this was the agreement that they came to. So now once what happened was, Draupadi was in the company of Yudhishthira. She was spending 1 year in Yudhishthira's company. That is when a Brahmana came to Arjuna. There was a loud shouting. The Brahmana started crying out loud in front of Arjuna's palace. And he started saying that all my cows have gotten abducted. There's a kidnap of cows which belong to me. So I need help. So the Brahmana started calling out. Okay. Now Arjuna was in a fix. All his weapons, all his ayudas, his bow, his arrows, his sword, everything was in Yudhishthira's house. Okay, but now this Brahmana has come there asking for help, and he has to go and get his weapons to rescue the cows which belong to the Brahmana. Right? Just look at this. Even in the past, people who used to kidnap, they would kidnap the weak people or the weak animals. See, in the Indian tradition, cows are respected as devatas, as kamadhenus. So you are not supposed to harm a cow. You're not supposed to torture a cow. See, just look at the cow. It requires very minimal treatment from you. It requires very minimal care. You just give it grass. And the kind of benefits that a cow gives you is extraordinary. It gives you milk. From milk, you can prepare curd. From curd, you can extract butter. From butter, you can make ghee. From the cow dung, the dung of a cow dung is used as fertilizers. And the male of a cow, which is a bull, that was used for tilling the soil. Has anybody seen farmers doing agriculture here? Farming? Have you seen them using bulls? Yeah, you have seen them using bulls, right? So, bulls, the male of a cow, that was used for tilling the land. The cow dung was used as fertilizer. Once the crop grows, right? So, suppose you are growing rice. To separate the rice from paddy, have all of you seen what is paddy? paddy is rice covered with something which is brown. It has got a sheath kind of thing. So to even separate rice from paddy, cows used to come to use, right? For our use, for all the requirements of our food, all the requirements of our transport. See, in the past, bullock carts and horse carts were largely used for transportation. Right? A cow is so useful for human being. It does not harm a human being at all. So therefore, cow is considered a very sacred animal. It requires very low maintenance. You don't have to put much efforts at all to maintain a cow, but the benefits that it gives are extraordinary. Therefore, cows are called Kamadhenu. In the Indian tradition, cows are respected as Kamadhenus. Right? So now Arjuna was in a fix. Thousands of cows have been abducted by thieves. So should I go and protect the cows or not? See now, if he does not go and protect, then the people will lose trust on the kingdom. What are these kings? They are useless. Cows have gotten abducted, and Arjuna is not ready to protect them. What does it mean? They are not good kings at all. So this is the kind of impression they'll get. But if Arjuna has to go and rescue the cows, he'll have to go into Yudhishthira's house where his weapons are kept, isn't it? But then if he goes inside Yudhishthira's house where Draupadi is staying with Yudhishthira, he will have to undergo a Bahishkara for 12 years. For 12 years, you'll have to go stay in a forest. So that was the agreement to which the Pandavas had come. When one of the brothers is with a wife, the other brothers are not supposed to interfere. So this was the condition. So the Pandavas, all of them had come to this agreement. Now just look at this. Arjuna is in a great fix. He's in great trouble. He does not know what to do. Should I go and help the Brahmana, or should I subject myself to some kind of exile? Okay. So now Arjuna thinks about it. It's very important to sacrifice my own self for the sake of the kingdom. It's important that the king always retains the trust of the people. Okay. So now Hamsa here, what do you observe? The Rajadharma, etc. Or Gauri, what do you observe? What else do you observe in the
So,
predicament, the confusion that Arjuna was facing?
Usually king. We had seen the etymology also of the word kshatriya before in the classes. It means kshatat trayate iti kshatriyaha. So a kshatriya or a king is that person who protects the others from wounds. So firstly, if Arjuna does not protect the others from the wounds, he fails to be a kshatriya itself. Secondly, a king is supposed to be that person who is selfless, who cares about the well-being of his entire people and the entire nation more than his own personal life. So that's why here Arjuna is also a bit confused, but then it would be also right of him to care more about the Brahmana because Samashti Hita should come.
Yeah, excellent. Very good. Any other point, Gauri? You want to say something? Okay. So now Arjuna, he thinks that, okay, it's fine. Even if I get exiled for 12 years, I'll go and get my weapons. So Arjuna goes inside the house, the palace where Yudhishthira was staying with Draupadi. He brings out his weapons, chases after the thieves, and rescues the cows which were taken away from the Brahmana. So then Yudhishthira comes out and says that what you did was right. What you did was dharmic. So you don't have to go on exile. Because you are a younger brother to me, you are like a son to me. So a younger brother coming to an elder brother's house, that is okay. So Yudhishthira tries to say that, but Arjuna has already pledged that I will go on an exile. So he goes out on an exile. So that is when he goes to many different places. This is a very interesting part of the Mahabharata, which is called Arjuna's Tirtha Yatra. Okay, this is a very interesting concept in the Indian tradition called Tirtha Yatra. Now I'll tell the etymology of the word Tirtha. Hamsa, please send it on the group later on. Taranat Tirtha Ityahuhu. Something which helps you cross over from the physical world to the spiritual world. Taranat Tirtha Ityahuhu. Taranat Tirtha Ityahuhu. So going to these sacred spots, very important places, that is there only in the Indian culture. Now, can somebody mention a few Tirtha Kshetras that you know? Just raise your hands and tell one by one in North India, what are the Tirtha Kshetras or the sacred rivers and places that you know? Dhatri, Mahati. Yes, Namit. Yes, quickly.
Kashi.
Kashi, fantastic. Arjuna went to Kashi. Yes, then
Prayag.
Prayaga, Arjuna went to Prayaga. Fantastic. Yes, Mahati. Next, others.
Rameshwaram.
Rameshwaram, very nice. Arjuna did not go there because it was down south, but that's a sacred place as well. Yes, Agri. Kedarnath, excellent. Arjuna went very close to that. Yes, Sharanya, Nitya.
Badrinath.
Badrinath, fantastic. Arjuna went close to that place as well. One more or two more, anybody else? Yes, Daivik.
Banaras.
Benares, which is Kashi. Kashi is also called,
Puri.
sorry,
Ayodhya.
Puri, fantastic. Ayodhya, yes. All right, fine, fine. Himalayas are also very sacred.
Gangotri and Yamunotri.
Gangotri, Yamunotri, the places where Ganga and Yamuna originate. Okay, we'll continue. So to all these places, most of these places that you all mentioned, Arjuna went in a Tirtha Yatra. See, he was on an exile, right? He could have spent time anywhere that he wanted. But Arjuna makes it a point to go to these sacred places and get the blessings of the people there. He goes to Ganga Dwara. There he comes across this lady called Ulupi, who belonged to the Nagavamsha. So Arjuna marries Ulupi, and the rule was that a child born to Ulupi and Arjuna will remain with Ulupi. So Arjuna married Ulupi. Then he went further to a place called Manalurupura, Manalurapura or Malalurupura. So that is today's Manipur. Arjuna goes there. The daughter of the king there was Chitrangada. Arjuna marries Chitrangada and gives birth to a son called Babruvahana. Kannada people, have you watched the movie Babruvahana? Fantastic movie. If you have not watched it, go and watch it. Today, tomorrow, if you have holidays, watch the movie Babruvahana, a fantastic one. A great actor in Kannada called Rajkumar has acted in it. And even in Telugu, there is a movie where Arjuna and Babruvahana are shown. The battle between Arjuna and Babruvahana, very interesting one. So please watch it. Okay, then Arjuna comes to a place called Prabhasa Kshetra, which is in Gujarat today. Okay, he comes there. That was the place where Krishna was staying. It is near Dwarka. So Arjuna looks at Subhadra there, falls in love with her. Subhadra is the sister of Krishna. Arjuna marries Subhadra and comes back to Indraprastha after the exile. After the period of exile, he comes back to to Indraprastha. Subhadra and Arjuna have a son called Abhimanyu. So the son born to Subhadra and Arjuna is called Abhimanyu. By then, Draupadi also gives birth to 5 children from the 5 Pandavas. If somebody knows the names of these 5 children who were born to Draupadi, please tell me at the end of the class. I'll ask you all. This is a very interesting thing. Who are the 5 children who were born to the 5 Pandavas? We'll list their names at the end of the class. If you know it, please try to recall. Please try to recall all the 5 names. Okay. So now, when once they come back, there is an episode of Rajasuya Yaga, which Yudhishthira plans to do. So Yudhishthira was ruling the kingdom, the capital city from Indraprastha. So they call Krishna and say that we need your advice, we need your guidance for performing something called the Rajasuya Yaga. So what is this Rajasuya Yaga? Rajasuya Yaga is a kind of a ceremony, is a kind of yaga where the kings from all around the country will be called and there'll be discussions held with them. And to unify all of them, let us not be fighting with each other. Let there be no differences between us. Are you ready to accept my emperorhood? Are you ready to accept me as the superior most king? Okay, so this is one of the dharma yagas which is performed by a kshatriya. It's a dharma yaga for unification of the country. performed by a Kshatriya. So Yudhishthira wanted to perform this. So therefore, he calls his cousin Krishna from Dwarka to seek his advice. So Rajasuya is a yaga where all the smaller kings from smaller kingdoms are called together in a kind of a discussion, in a kind of a conference to understand what they want and to understand if they are ready to get united with each other and to accept the superiority of Yudhishthira as the dharmic king, loosely put. So Krishna says, yes, all this is fine. Our country can be very well united. The Bharatavarsha can very well be united. But there are a few kings who are constantly causing trouble. If the kings continue to exist, they are very evil and they will constantly try to disrupt peace. They'll constantly be seeds of trouble to all of you. So Krishna says the kings are Jarasandha, who is the father-in-law of a particular king. Does anybody know whose father-in-law was Jarasandha? Raise your hand. Yes, Prerana.
Sir, Kamsa.
Fantastic. Yeah, Kamsa. So he was the father-in-law of Kamsa. And what was the capital city of Jarasandha? Does anybody know that? The capital city of Jarasandha. Yes, Prerana Mahati. I'm so glad that so many of you are very well versed in Mahabharata. Yeah, what was the capital city?
Magadha.
Magadha, yes. So Kamsa was a very troublesome some king. Some of you might know the stories of Krishna's childhood, right? Kamsa was Krishna's uncle, Devaki's brother. Krishna's biological parents were Vasudeva and Devaki. Devaki's brother was Kamsa. Kamsa was determined to kill Krishna, Bhagavan Sri Krishna, in one way or the other. So from the time Krishna was born, Kamsa was constantly trying to kill Krishna. Look at the pain that Krishna must have undergone. 6 other children who were born to Devaki and Vasudeva were crushed right in front of the parents' eyes as soon as the children were born. Such a painful thing, isn't it? What do you think, Nidhi? A baby is put to death right in front of the mother, a very painful thing. So Kamsa was a very wicked king. Krishna was in the safety in Gokula. I'm not going into the details of the story. One after the other, different Rakshasas were sent to kill Krishna. Putana, Shakatasura, Bakasura. Many of you asked about Bakasura yesterday, right? So all these people, Vrishasura, Dhenukasura, Trunavarta, all these Rakshasas were constantly sent to kill Krishna. Just imagine in your own life, many of you are small children, constantly somebody is troubling you. Constantly there are so many kinds of problems that you are facing. It would be very painful, right? But Krishna was a very bold person. At the age of 12, he confidently went to Mathura. Akrura was a person who came and called him, and he killed Kamsa. So Krishna had killed his own uncle because the uncle was adharmic. The uncle was not taking care of the kingdom properly. So because Kamsa was killed by Krishna, Kamsa's father-in-law, Jarasandha, was constantly causing trouble to the people who resided in Mathura. The Yadavas who resided in Mathura, they were constantly being troubled by Jarasandha, who was the father of Kamsa. Jarasandha had 2 daughters called Asti and Prapti. Both of them were married to Kamsa. 2 daughters of Jarasandha were Asti and Prapti. So both of them were married to Jarasandha and were the daughters of Jarasandha. Both of them were married to Kamsa. So Jarasandha was very angry that Krishna had killed Kamsa. So he was constantly attacking Mathura and causing trouble to the Yadavas. That is when Krishna had shifted the capital city to Dwaraka. Now, see, look at this. Yudhishthira has established his capital city where I just mentioned it. What was the capital city of Yudhishthira? Quick. Yes, unmute yourself. Yeah, Indraprastha. And Yudhishthira is trying to perform what yaga for what purpose?
Rajasuya
Yaga.
For why is he trying to do?
for unification of the country.
Yeah. Should the country be united or not? What do you think, Ahari?
It should be.
Yeah. What if Kannada people are constantly fighting with Tamil people? Tamil people constantly with Marathi people. Marathi people constantly with Gujarati people. Good idea. Shall we all be fighting?
Okay.
Shouldn't we all be united?
Okay.
So back then also, Yudhishthira was trying to resolve the problems. So we should not have selfish kings who are very wicked. We should not have that. So that was Krishna's idea. So Krishna tells Yudhishthira that this king Jarasandha is there. His supporters are Shishupala and Dantavakra. As long as these people are alive, as long as Jarasandha is alive, you will not have peace. So send Arjuna and Bhima with me. We three will go and kill Jarasandha. So that is the idea that Krishna gives. So now what Krishna, Arjuna and Bhima do is that they disguise themselves as young graduates. They disguise themselves as Snatakas. Snataka means a person who has just finished his education, a person who has just finished his college, a young graduate. A young graduate is called a Snataka, somebody who has just finished his studies. So Arjuna, Bhima, and Krishna, they disguise themselves as Snatakas. They go to the city of Magadha at night. And as they enter the city of Magadha, they wanted to kill Jarasandha single-handedly. They did not want to declare a war. Now a question, Gauri, Hamsa, Mayank, what do you think about this? Is it a good idea to go to an enemy's kingdom at night and break his war drums, destroy his weapons, and take him one-on-one? Good strategy or bad strategy? What do you think? Yes, Gauri,
Yes.
Hamsa, Mayank, one of you please unmute and tell.
Sir,
Yes,
since
Hamsa.
Jarasandha is really adharmic, to destroy
Mhm.
an adharmic person, it is fine to take any form.
Mhm. What would have happened if they had declared a war, Mayank? Mayank?
Sir, if they had declared a war, then more people will keep on attacking the kingdom, and it would not be easy for them to keep to be stable.
Exactly. So that would create unrest in the entire place. Fine. So to kill an adharmic person, it's okay to take any path that you want. Okay. What else do you think? Why should Krishna encourage such a deed? Anybody else wants to answer? Yeah, just raise your hand quickly. Whoever wants to answer. Yeah. Gauri, Dhatri, Suraj, any one of you? Sharanya?
Sir,
To stop
if
the
they
war,
attack the
Okay. Sharanya, you want to say?
maybe to stop the war from happening.
Okay, that's one
if
thing.
they
Yeah.
declare the war openly, more innocents would be killed.
Exactly. Perfect. Very nice answer, Dhatri. Yeah. See, if they unnecessarily declare a war, so many times Jarasandha has been warned. So many times he has been given an opportunity to change his ways. But now, the people belonging to Jarasandha's kingdom may be good. But because of the bad nature of a king, innocent people should not die, like Dhatri said, right? So there is no point declaring a war. If you declare a war, lot of resources will be wasted. See, now there's a very huge war going on between Russia and Ukraine. Are you all aware of that? You know how many people are losing lives, how many war equipments are getting destroyed, and how many houses are being destroyed, and how many industries, factories, the gas supply, the petrol supply, paper supply, all that is getting affected if a war takes place. War takes place. So Krishna and Rama, in all circumstances, they try to resolve the problem through peaceful means. Okay, so there are four means of political treaties. What are the four means? Sama, Dana, Bheda, and Danda. Ramayan, do you want to explain quickly?
So,
Manan? Yeah,
so four
quick.
types of Sama, Dana, Bheda, and Danda. Sama is
Hmm.
where you just talk with the opponent and try to like verbally make them accept the mistake and do something. And
Mhm.
Dana is you bribe them with money and all. You give them money, resources, and they will finally want to change their ways. And
It may not be a bribe, it may be an agreement. I will give you so much, so stop all your whatever selfish or greedy activities. Mhm.
and bhe- uh, Bheda is where you reason with them and tell what would happen if you
That is
continue doing.
Sama. Bheda is where you go and break the enemy into multiple factions. See, if the enemy has some 10 kings, try to go to that faction and try to get some people on your side. So you are creating conflict within the enemies. Danda is where there is a complete warfare. So Krishna, as far as possible, he ensures that there is no large scale loss of life. Okay. So all the three of them go in the form of snatkas as young graduates, and they enter the door of Jarasandha's house through the back door. They enter the house, Jarasandha's palace, through the back door. And Jarasandha asks, "Who are you at this midnight hour? All of you are coming here." So then they reveal their true identity and they say that we have come for a fight with you. So Bhima and Jarasandha get into a fight and Bhima kills Jarasandha. Okay, there is another story connected with this. Although this doesn't come in the Mahabharata, does anybody know in the popular folklore how was Jarasandha killed? There's a sub story here. Yes, Ritvik or whoever has login.
Uh,
Sir,
he,
there was a king who was Jarasandha's father. His father had two wives.
Sorry, who was saying that? Can you continue?
Bhima, once in a ring, he fights Jarasandha and tears him apart by the leg and throws to different directions, like opposite directions.
Right, right. Yeah, exactly. So other person, Rutvik or somebody, Rupashi was saying that. So the baby was born in two halves. They were put together by a Rakshasi called Jara. And to kill Jarasandha, you had to break him into two parts. And the two parts would naturally come together, how many ever times you try. So Krishna, according to the popular story, he takes a stick, breaks it into two parts, and throws it away from each other, indicating that that is how Jarasandha has to be killed. Okay, this is a popular story which you might come across in the Amarachitrakatha, you might have seen in the teleserial, etc. But the original Mahabharata does not say this. It was a normal fight between Bhima and Jarasandha was killed. So with this, the major enemy who would cause trouble to the kingdom was removed. Okay, now we'll go ahead quickly further. The Pandavas welcome many different kings from around the country, and they do the Rajasuya Yaga. All the different kings come and offer tributes to the Pandavas. They accept the superiority of Yudhishthira. And on the different kings are given different kinds of responsibilities. The cousins, Kauravas, are also called from Hastinapura. So Krupacharya, Dronacharya, Bhishma, Duryodhana, Dushasana, Karna, all of them come from there, from Hastinapura, who are the cousins of Pandavas. The Kauravas come and they are shocked looking at how prosperous the Pandavas have become. So the Kauravas thought that if we send them away from Hastinapura, see, Hastinapura is the ancient capital city. It is what belonged to their grandfather, great grandfather, etc. They have inherited a lot of wealth there. But in this Pandavaprastha, which later came to be called Indraprastha, from the scratch, the city had to be built. So the Kauravas were amazed how, in a very short period of time, the Pandavas have been able to build such an extraordinary city with so much of riches. Kings from around the country are coming and offering tributes to the Pandavas. So Duryodhana again becomes very, very jealous. Right? Okay. Now, on the last day, after the entire yaga was over, see, during the yaga, by the way, many people were given many different responsibilities. Krupacharya was asked to take care of the treasury. Duryodhana said that he will take the responsibility of accepting tributes from the smaller kings. But Duryodhana was a very corrupt person. When he was accepting tributes, some of the money went into his pocket, right? The tributes are being paid to Yudhishthira, but Duryodhana is taking money for his own self. Again, that selfishness, again, that greed is seen in Duryodhana, unfortunately, here, right? Okay. Krishna, throughout the Yaga, he said that I will not take up any other responsibility other than welcoming the old people, cleaning their feet, and arranging their footwear, doing the Pada Puja for the old people. That is the responsibility I will take up, Krishna says. Look at Krishna's humility. He was an extraordinary person, a very, very talented person. His talent was known around the country from his youngest of days, right? But then here, when such a huge yaga is happening, Krishna says that he'll take care of the footwear of people. He'll take care of cleaning the feet of people. That shows the humility of Krishna. Just because you're powerful, you're not supposed to be arrogant. You're not supposed to be egoistic. So that is what we see from Krishna's character. On the last day, once the entire yaga was over, so many kings had gathered. All of them said that they will look up to Yudhishthira. They'll accept the superiority of Yudhishthira, and Yudhishthira would be the Chakravarti, right? But then on the last day, there was this something like the Thanksgiving ceremony. So whoever has come and helped in the yaga will express our gratitude to all of them. So in that ceremony, everybody was discussing who should receive the Agra Puja. Agra Puja, the main puja, the best of the puja, the best of the gratitude, who should receive it? So that was the Agra Puja. The oldest of them, that is Bhishma, says that although I'm older by age, Sri Krishna, Bhagavan Sri Krishna, is the most noble person amongst all of us. He is the most intelligent person. He is the most wise person. He is the most spiritual person. So he must receive the Agra Puja. The best puja should go to him. So first, his thanksgiving, gratitude expression should happen to Bhagavan Sri Krishna. So then there was in the Rajasuya Yaga one of the cousins of Sri Krishna called Shishupala. Shishupala was the cousin of Krishna. He was born to Devaki's sister, whose name was Yadavi. Yadavi was Devaki's sister, and Shishupala was Yadavi's son. Shishupala started accusing Krishna. He started speaking to Krishna in very bad words. Okay, just think of this. A huge ceremony is happening. Many people have gathered there. Everybody wants to pay respects to Sri Krishna. And Krishna's cousin himself is speaking very badly about Krishna. Okay, so he accused Krishna of several different things. Krishna had promised his aunt Yadavi. Yadavi was Krishna's aunt. She was like the Chikkamma of Krishna. She was Devaki's younger sister. Okay, Krishna had promised Yadavi that he will forgive Shishupala 100 mistakes. When he makes the 101st mistake, he will kill him. So that was the word that Krishna had given. 100 times you make a mistake, I will excuse you. But 101st time when you make the mistake, I will kill you. So that was what Krishna had told Yadavi. So now, accusation after accusation, Shishupala keeps on making upon Krishna. Krishna waits and waits. So when Shishupala does not mend his ways, Krishna takes up his chakra and shoots it at Shishupala and cuts off the head of Shishupala. So this is the incident of Shishupala Vadha. Shishupala, the cousin of Krishna, was killed by Krishna. Krishna is ready to give innumerable chances to people. We'll give you a chance, change your ways, become a better person. So again and again and again, Krishna gives a chance. But when people do not change, Krishna does not care whether it is his own uncle Kamsa, his cousin Shishupala, or his own children. Towards the end of Mahabharata, we'll see Krishna was very tolerant, he was very compassionate, but when his own children become very indisciplined, when they become unruly, Krishna does not mind killing his own children, killing his own offsprings, people belonging to the Yadava clan. Okay, Shishupala is killed there. Now, there was something called the Maya Sabha, which was created by a Rakshasa called Mayasura. Maya was a Rakshasa who was an architect of the Rakshasa architect. Mayasura was the architect of the Rakshasas. He had helped the Pandavas to create a place which looked like a place of illusions or palace of illusions. That was called Maya Sabha. So Duryodhana and others were very curious to have a look at this. So they entered the palace. So it was full of illusions. It was full of misleading things. So at one point, Duryodhana thought he's just walking freely, but suddenly he encountered a wall and hit his head. And in another place, he thought it was a plain floor and he was walking there. It was actually a water body. He slipped down and fell there. In another place, he thought there was actually a river or a pond. He started walking carefully around it, but it was a normal floor actually. So there were so many illusions. In another place, Duryodhana goes and sees himself in multiple shapes and sizes. By the way, has anybody gone to these kinds of places of illusions where there'll be a lot of mirrors? In one mirror, you look very tall. In one mirror, you will look very fat. In another, okay, what all have you seen? Can somebody, one person say? Samhita, Pranati, any one of you? Devaki,
Sir,
Amisha, anyone?
circus we saw. The circus.
Where did you see them? Oh, in
Circus.
circus you have seen. What all?
Illusions of yourself, and then you might not know if it's you or a different, or it's a image of you sometimes.
Okay, fine. Very
Mirror maze.
nice. What else
Mirror
have you
maze.
seen? Oh, mirror maze where you'll get lost. Yes, yes. Yeah.
I've also where is the veins?
Before I went to like a mirror, I got lost over there. It was very fun. Like and then like it was you could like there was a mirror on the bottom. It felt like it was like a mirror bridge, but then I would fall. So when I stepped out of it, it was just a plain floor.
Exactly. What is your name, Amisha? Or is that
No,
your mother's name?
that's my mom's name.
Yeah, you'll have to change your name. All of you, please appear with your name. What's your name? Adya, right?
Anya,
Anya.
A-N-Y.
Okay, all right. Okay, please change your name, change your display name. Okay, like Anya said, she thought it was a mirrored floor or whatever, and she tried to walk carefully, but it was a plain floor. In another place, she thought it's a plain floor, but it was a mirrored floor. Exactly the same thing happened to Duryodhana, Dushyasana, Karna, Shakuni, and all these people. Bhima and Arjuna, who were watching all this, they started laughing at all of them. See, this was the palace of illusions created 5,000 years back. Just like in the circus of today, you might have something like this. 5,000 years back, the Pandavas had created something like this with the help of Mayasura, who was the architect of the Rakshasas. Okay. By the way, the divine the architect of the Devas is called by a certain name. Does anybody know who is the architect of the Devas? Yeah, there are so many people who know so many things already. Yes, Datri, Aira, Isha, Nahiri.
Devashilpi Vishwakarma.
Vishwakarma.
Yes, fantastic. Vishwakarma is the Devashilpi. He is the Shilpi or the architect of the divinities. Maya is the architect of the Rakshasas. Okay. Now Duryodhana, Dushasana. See, this was a very playful thing. You will pull pranks on your cousins and your friends, right? Sometimes you'll try to fool them, right? Will they take? Oh my God, Nidhi, you're so excited. How did you fool anyone? What, Nidhi? You fooled your sister sometime? or your friends or your cousins? What did you do? There are so many thumbs up which are happening here. Okay. So your cousins or your friends, I hope they don't take it seriously and take revenge on you. Right? They won't hurt you, right? If you do like that for fun. But here, Duryodhana, Dushasana, Karna, Shakuni, they were not at all sportive people. They would take everything very seriously and they wanted to take revenge on the Pandavas. At this juncture, let us recollect a shloka which we had seen yesterday. Duryodhano Manyumayo Mahadrumaha Mayan. Please tell that.
दुर्योधनो मन्युमयो महाद्रुमस्कन्धः कर्णः शकुनिस्तस्य शाखाः दुःशासनः पुष्पफले समृद्धे मूलं राजा धृतराष्ट्रो मनीषी.
Very good. Fantastic, Mayank. Ahiri, you also want to say this? The shloka? You have learnt it already.
Yes, actually, can I tell?
Yeah, sure. Close your eyes and tell.
दुर्योधनो मन्युमयो महात्मः स्कन्धः कर्णशकुनिस्तस्य शाखाः दुःशासनः पुष्पफले समृद्धे मूलं राजा धृतराष्ट्रो मनीषी युधिष्ठिरो
Excellent.
धर्ममयो महात्मः.
Fantastic. Yeah, sufficient. Very nice, Ahiri. I'm so glad that these children are able to pick up the shlokas in one night's time, in one day's time. Anisha, I know that you will know it. No worries. So she already recited it. Okay, let's go ahead. So again, we see that there is jealousy which is in Duryodhana's mind. He gets very jealous of the Pandavas. He somehow wants to take revenge. They go back to Hastinapura and he starts thinking how to take revenge on the Pandavas. Not just revenge. How do I snatch away whatever belongs to the Pandavas? So that is what he started thinking. Okay, then in the meantime, back in Indraprastha, Krishna, who had come from Dwaraka, he heard that there's an attack on the city of Dwaraka. A king called Shalva had started attacking the city of Dwaraka. So there was a call for help from the city of Dwaraka to Krishna. So Shalva, he was bombing the city. There was an aerial attack on the city. So he was constantly attacking the city from the skies, Shalva. So Krishna had to rush back. So Krishna tells Yudhishthira that, Yudhishthira, your cousins Duryodhana, Dushasana, all of them have become jealous of you. They want to snatch away your kingdom. They want to snatch away your wealth. They might call you for gambling, a game of dice, a game of gamble. Please don't agree. Please don't go and gamble. So this is what Krishna tells before he goes back to the city of Dwaraka to save his people. Yudhishthira says, okay, I'll listen to your instructions, etc. And back in Hastinapura, Shakuni, Yudhishthira, Shakuni, of course, not Yudhishthira, Duryodhana, Dushasana, Karna, all of them are discussing. Shakuni says, I know that Yudhishthira, that is Dharmaraja, he is addicted to gambling. Call him for a game of dice. I will play on your behalf and I will ensure that Yudhishthira loses all his kingdom, he loses all his wealth, and all that becomes yours, and they will go away to the forest. So Shakuni comes up with this plan, and there's an invitation sent from Hastinapura to Indraprastha to the Pandavas to come and play the game of dice. What happens when they play the game of dice? We'll see tomorrow. Yudhishthira agrees and goes ahead to play the game of dice. Okay, I'll stop at this point. Now, two things for the people here. Firstly, whoever has learnt the two shlokas, already we heard Ahiri reciting them. Duryodhano Manyumayo Mahadrumaha, Yudhishthiro Dharmamayo Mahadrumaha. These two shlokas, whoever has learnt it well, without a flaw, if you are able to recite, then please raise your hand. And whoever knows the names of the 18 Parvas without seeing, raise your hands. Other than Anisha, you won't get a chance, Anisha. Other than Anisha, if anybody knows it perfectly, you please tell me. Anisha, you're a regular student. I know that you will know very well. You have also recited this story very well in Sanskrit. So don't worry. You need not raise your hand at all, Anisha, in the rest of the classes here. Let us give an opportunity for the other people. Okay? You have gotten a very good number of opportunities and you are very talented. That's very well known. Yes, Tanishka.
I want to
Yes.
say the 18 Pandavas.
What? What do you want to say?
I want the 18 Pandavas.
Yeah, please. Yeah, sure,
Adi
quickly.
Parva, Sabha Parva, Mana Parva, Virata Parva, Udyoga
Oh.
Parva, Bhishma
Oh.
Parva, Drona Parva, Karna Parva, Shalya Parva, Sauptika Parva, Stri Parva, Shanti Parva, Anushasana Parva, Ashva, Ashrama,
Ashwamedhika Parva.
Ashramevasika Parva,
Oh.
Mausala Parva, Mahaprashtanika Parva, Varga
Svarga.
Rohana Parva.
Rohan. Fantastic. Very good, Tanishka. Mayank, after the class, please send a voice note of reciting, of telling the names of the Parvas so that people get the right pronunciation. You have got the right order, Tanishka, but just observe the pronunciation. Mayank will send a voice message. You can try imitating his pronunciation. You can send back a voice note to him and get your pronunciation corrected. Very good attempt, Tanishka. Okay, the two shlokas, who will recite them without seeing? Yes, Adarsh.
Sir, I can say only the first shloka.
No, both of them. Okay, now if anybody has a question, you may please ask me now. Yeah, Datri and Rutu, you have a question?
So there are many Puranas, but then why only do Ramayana and Mahabharata live?
What? Sorry. There are many Puranas. And why only Ramayana and Mahabharata? What?
Are known everywhere.
The other Puranas are also known. Bhagavata Purana is known. Shiva Purana is known. Linga Purana is known. The Puranas are
But
also
they're
known.
mostly famous. It's very famous. Yeah, why is it known?
Yeah, because in the Ramayana and the Mahabharata, we have very extraordinary heroes. Rama, who is the hero of the Ramayana, Sita, who is the heroine of the Ramayana, very exemplary ones. But in the Puranas, you have the stories of many, many different people. There is usually no one person who is an extraordinary. There are stories of many extraordinary people, but there is no one person. Similarly, in the Mahabharata, also Sri Krishna is the actual hero. Veda Vyasa is also kind of the actual hero. Draupadi is the actual heroine of the Mahabharata. And therefore, it has impacted the society at large. And that is why it is very famous. Yes, Ira and Ishan, you have a question?
Yes, Shishupala and Dantavatra, the avatars of Jaya Vijaya.
Yes, very good. Yes, they are the avatars of Jaya and Vijaya. How did Dantavakra get killed? Will you find out and tell? Ishan? You find out and tell. Okay. We spoke about the killing of Jarasandha. We spoke about the killing of Shishupala. But what happened to Dantavakra? It doesn't come in the Mahabharata. We'll try to find out. Yes, Ahiri.
In the Amar Chitra Katha book, they have said that when Yudhishthira did not speak, Sahadeva spoke that Krishna should take the honor. So is it true?
Yeah, that is correct. That is right. Yes. Thank you,
And
Ahiri.
also one more thing, I am reading the essential Mahabharata. I finished 170 pages.
Oh, fantastic. Very nice, Ahiri. By tomorrow, finish the Sabha Parva also, because we are going to finish that in the class. So whoever is reading the essential Mahabharata or Amara Chitrakatha or anything, try to finish the entire Adi Parva, the entire Sabha Parva, and if possible, the entire Aranya Parva also by tomorrow. We are speeding up the story narration. Yes, Mahati. Anisha, I'll take your questions in another class. We'll give an opportunity to the other people. Yes.
Yesterday you mentioned that Shalya was not a very jealous person, but how could he be jealous about his own nephews? That is my first
Yeah.
question, and the second question is that
See, wait. One question here. One question in written. Duryodhana, Dushasana, etc., they are jealous of their own cousins. Dhritarashtra is also jealous and envious of his own nephews. What to do? The Pandavas are Dhritarashtra's nephews, right?
But according to the Amar Chitra Katha, in the last few parvas, like when the war is about to happen, Shalya accepts Yudhishthira's proposal to join their side in the war. So why he wouldn't have maybe joined that if he was jealous of his own nephews?
Shalya does not join the side of Yudhishthira. Lot of wealth is given by Duryodhana, although Shalya agrees in the beginning to join the side of Yudhishthira. Lot of wealth is offered by Duryodhana, and Shalya becomes the commander-in-chief later on Duryodhana's side. He fights against his own nephews. So please wait until we come there. You
Sir,
don't seem to know the entire story, right?
and the
Yeah.
second question is that Jarasandha he performed a yagna when the Krishna, Arjuna, and Bhima came to fight him, right?
What yajna is that?
Like he had vowed to sacrifice so many kings to gain power.
Exactly. Absolutely not a good idea. Naramedha, killing human beings to gain power. Right? Sharada, you have a question about today and what has been covered in the past?
So, when after the Rajasuya Yagna, when Duryodhana was examining the palace, you said that when he thought there was like it was a floor, but accidentally it was a water body, and when he slipped in the Amar Chitra Katha, it says that when he fell into the water, it was Draupadi who
No,
laughed, not Bhima.
no. Yeah, very good. Thanks for raising this point. Many TV movies also show that it was Draupadi laughing at Duryodhana. The original does not say that it was Draupadi who laughed. It was Bhima and Arjuna who laughed. Right? See, if it was Draupadi who had laughed, then in some sense, in a small little sense, Duryodhana and Dushasana planning to pull her sari in a cord is kind of justified because she had laughed at them. Now they want to laugh at her. In the original, that is not what happens. Arjuna and Bhima laugh at her. Okay. See, one important point here is for the older people, if the older people are still present, the younger ones also please listen. There was a question in the quiz about what is the critical edition. There was a question about what is the critical edition of the Mahabharata. Critical edition is not something which criticizes the Mahabharata, firstly. Okay. Critical edition is something which puts together all the manuscripts. See, in India, Mahabharata is available in all the different places. In Delhi, there are some books based on Mahabharata, like ancient ones, 300, 400 years back, whatever was written in Delhi, in Jaipur, in Gujarat, in Maharashtra. Around the country, there are many manuscripts of Mahabharata. All of them are put together. And what is the actual story based on all these different manuscripts? So that is reconstructed. There are some slight differences between the manuscripts. So the common factor of the manuscripts, as in what should be the original. So that is what the critical edition gives us. So the critical edition is something which is closest to the original. Okay. So the critical edition gives a text which is closest to the original. And that is why I have been recommending and insisting on reading the essential Mahabharata because it is based on the critical edition. All these extra things which come about in the other versions are removed there. So this thing where Draupadi laughs at Duryodhana, Dushasana, etc. And Draupadi during her Swayambara laughs at Karna, or Karna is not given an opportunity because he is a Sudaputra. All these does not come in the original. So you have to be very careful in understanding what the original says. Okay. Samhita,
Sir.
Dhatri. Yes.
Sir, if Yudhishthira was, we all talk that Yudhishthira is very humble, down to the earth person. He was very religious and all. Then why he was addicted to gambling? Gambling is not a good thing, right?
Very good. So Yudhishthira was dharmic in some senses, but he was adharmic also in certain other senses. You have really caught the point. Thank you, Dhatri. Very nice. Samhita,
Sir,
with your question, we'll stop. Sharanya will then tell the 5 children of Draupadi. Okay.
sir, yesterday you said there's a point where Dasharatha had more wives. Then what about their kids and their achievements? Do they come in the Mahabharata?
In the Ramayana, right? So one name of one of the daughters of Dasharatha is known. Dasharatha had a daughter called Shanta, so that is known. The names of other children who were born to so many different wives that Dasharatha had, that is not known. But they were also quite capable people, probably. Okay.
Sir, and
Yeah.
also in other books, they only refer to 3 wives. So
Yeah.
what about the other wives? They never have mentioned it all.
Yeah, their names are not known. But there's a story behind why Dasharatha married 350 wives. Okay. I think at some point we'll do a course on the Ramayana like this only. There I'll explain in detail why Dasharatha married so many people. Okay. Sharanya, you want to tell the names of the 5 Upa Pandavas, the children of Draupadi, born to the 5 Pandavas. They were called Upa Pandavas. Listen carefully. All of you try to remember.
Prativindhya, Suta Soma, Shruta Sharma, Satanika, and
Shatanika.
Shatanika and Shrutasena.
Vindhya, Suma, Shruta Sharma, Shatanika, and Shrutasena. All right. Very good. With this, we'll conclude. Again, a reminder, Adi Parva, Sabha Parva, and Aranya Parva. Please try to read by tomorrow. So, who has volunteered to do the concluding shloka for today? Please raise your hand. We'll do the concluding shloka.
Shreya.
Yeah, Shreya, will you do it?
Yes.
Yeah.
रत्नोदारचतुस्समुद्ररशनां भुक्त्वा भुवं कौरवो भग्नोरुः पतितः स निष्परिजनो जीवन्मृगैर्भक्षितः गोपैर्विश्वजयी जितः स विजयः कक्षैक्षिता वृष्णयः तस्मात् सर्वमिदं विचार्य सुचिरं शान्त्यै मनोदीयताम्.
Excellent. Very good, Shreya. Namaste.